In this video, I'm going to explain how to apply for a license for a new HMO or house in multiple occupation. And I'm going to give you a few tips which will hopefully make it easier and quicker to get your HMO license. Hi, my name is Mark Lloyd. I'm co-founder of Property Master Academy and I've been investing in property since 2005. So first of all, I recommend you start researching the HMO licensing procedure right now, even before you've found a property. The reason is that HMO licensing procedures are pretty complicated and quite slow. So the more legwork you can do before you buy, the sooner you should be able to get your HMO up and running. Also, knowing what the HMO rules are locally will help you when it comes to choosing the best areas and properties. Once you know what the exact rules on HMOs are locally, you'll be able to see which properties are likely to get a license and which won't. So, do all HMOs need a license? Well, the answer is no, but probably. In law, a property is an HMO if it is rented out to at least 3 people who are not from one household and who share facilities like the bathroom and kitchen. But the law also identifies both large and small HMOs. Now, if an HMO is rented to 5 or more people who form more than one household and who share some amenities, it is a large HMO. Large HMOs always need a license. If your property is a smaller HMO, it may or may not need what is known as an additional license or perhaps a selective license. But this depends on the council area, so you will need to check. Remember that, generally, we advise that an HMO should have at least 6 rooms, as this is more viable. This sort of HMO will be a large HMO and so will need a license. Next, where do you get an HMO license from? Well, HMO licenses are issued by your local council. So if you don't know already who they are, I'd strongly recommend that you find that out now. Here's why. Every local council has a different procedure and different rules for HMOs. So what I will tell you next is only a general guide to getting an HMO license. You need to find out exactly what the process is in your council area. By the way, you can apply for a license yourself, but if you're using a managing agent, they can also apply for you. So let's look at what you'll need to apply for an HMO license. Firstly, you'll need to get the council's HMO license application form. With some councils, you can apply online. With others, you need to use a paper form. Now, it's fair to say that HMO license application forms are some of the most complicated forms you will ever fill in. Think of the most difficult job application you've ever filled in, then multiply it by 10. That's all the more reason to get a copy of the form and study it in advance. Secondly, you'll need to specify who will be involved with owning and running the HMO. You will usually need to tell the council. Firstly, the name of the applicant, the person who is filling in the form. Secondly, the name of the person or company who owns the property and the mortgage provider. Thirdly, the name of the person you want to be the legal license holder. Fourthly, details of your letting agent if you're using one. And fifthly, the name of the nominated house manager. Very importantly, the license holder and the manager need to be what are called fit and proper persons for the role. This means they can't have certain unspent criminal convictions. So check the individual council's website to find out more. Next, you'll need to gather together information about the property you require a license for. Now, depending on the council, you'll need to provide the address of the property, obviously, what type of HMO you want to set up. So, for example, a shared house or self-contained rooms. What type of building it is, including its age, whether terraced or whatever, and how many floors it has. Also, how many letting rooms it will have and how many people you will let to. What the rooms are like, i.e. what amenities do they have. A list of rooms, plus their dimensions and floor areas. Now, these need to be measured the way the council specifies. You'll also need details of the property's bathrooms and kitchens. Details of your health and safety arrangements. Now, this will usually include details of the fire alarm system and gas and electrical safety certificates as a minimum. Some councils might also require more detailed information, such as details of the heating system or what arrangements you are making for maintenance, for example. You'll also need to provide a floor plan. Now, in most cases, a sketch will do, but it must be marked up with the information the council specifies. This will usually be each room size and the location of fire alarms and other fire precautions. And lastly, you'll also need some money. HMO licence application fees vary from council to council, so again, you should check that now. But it's sensible to allow around £1,000 per property. A couple of other things I should mention. In some areas, there are what is known as landlord accreditation schemes. Again, you'll need to check locally to find out, but being part of the scheme can mean your HMO will go on a list of approved HMOs, so tenants can find you. And you may get a discount on licence fees as well. In some areas, you may need to undertake what is known as a landlord development course before you can rent out an HMO. So that's something else you'll need to check as well. Now, these courses can often be done online and aren't that expensive and can provide you with useful information about running an HMO. Once you've sent your application in, what happens next? Well, the council will validate your application, that is, check that they have all the information they need from you. If you've made any mistakes or left any information out, expect a slapped wrist, so to speak. Everything will be sent back for you to do again. It's likely, but not always the case, that the council will want to inspect your property, just to confirm that everything you've told them is actually true. In some cases, the council might want to impose conditions on your HMO licence. These might be, for example, on improvements you need to make within a certain time period. All being well, your HMO licence will then be issued and will last for up to 5 years. Now, by now, I'm sure you're probably wondering why on earth would you want to go through all this? After all, it sounds like a lot of fuss to go through just to route out some rooms, doesn't it? Well, the answer is that once you have your HMO licence, you will have a high cash flow, high yielding business in the making. A good HMO can be a licence to print money, where the money will literally roll in year after year after year. Another reason for putting up with all this is that it puts many would-be HMO investors off. So it actually creates more opportunities for those like us who are persistent and determined to create a profitable HMO business. Well, I hope you found this video useful, and if you have, then please hit that like button below so that others just like you will get to see it, and also subscribe to our channel so you get notified of other videos that we post each and every week. Appearing on your screen right now will be more videos that will help you in your property business. Thanks for listening.